Welcome. We are so happy to have you here, Gita.
Thank you, Indira. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for coming to this morning's meditation session. And thanks to Asian Art Museum for organizing this and bringing awareness of meditation to people at large. I really appreciate that. I think this, the pandemic time is kind of bringing that awareness within each person. And we're kind of learning the art of slowing down and finding our center. And I think this is a great moment, actually, even though there's a lot of suffering. And I think this is also a great moment where we are pausing in silence and trying to get centered before we start again. So what exactly is meditation? So I represent San Francisco Zen Center. I'm a priest, as Indira just mentioned. Yeah. So I live and work at San Francisco Zen Center. So the meditation technique that I'm going to talk about this morning is called Zazen. And this is from the Soto Zen lineage that the San Francisco Zen Center represents. And the word Zazen itself means, it comes from the Sanskrit word dhyan, which means meditation. And, as I personally see it, I think life itself is a meditation. So how can we tune into life? So when we are fast paced and trying to keep pace with the fast moving world, we move from our center. We kind of lose our silent center, and we are trying to keep pace with the fast movement of the world. So when we pause to intentionally to think and talk about meditation, then we kind of stop where we are at, and then we kind of watch the movement, the pace that we've been making all this while. And that movement and just stopping from there allows all the ripples and all the movement to come to a standstill. So, and then that gives us more clarity to see what's happening in front of us and within us, in our body, in our mind. So the practice of meditation in the Zen tradition is more in listening to our own body, listening to our own mind. So we are here today, this morning, to experience that together. So make sure you're sitting comfortably if you're sitting on a chair, make sure your back is straight and your spine straight, neck straight, ears are in level with the shoulder, nose are in level with the navel. And if you're sitting on the floor, you sit cross-legged and make sure your knees are kind of touching the floor. It's spread out and you're sitting comfortably. Basically, you want to have your spine straight, back straight, neck straight, and then you're aligning your body, keeping your ears in level to the shoulder and nose in level to the navel. And you kind of want to hold your hands at the back and stretch. So that'll open your chest. And then rock your body left and right, stretch completely. And if you're sitting on the ground, touch your forehead to the ground and make a circular motion to the right and to the left. And then you can rotate your hips as you come up, just loosening your body and rotating on the left side. And then come back to the center and stretch your hands in the back and come up to sitting position. And then holding your hands in a mudra, you place your right palm, the left palm over it, or if you're left-handed, whichever way is comfortable for you, one palm down and the other on top of the other. And then your thumb tips are kind of barely touching, not touching. And then you place them on your thighs. And the hara is the center point of your body. It's like 3 fingers down below your navel. That's like the center point of your body. So you're breathing, you feel the rhythm of breathing from there. And then roll your tongue in the roof of the mouth. Keep your eyes open. Gaze looking down. And then just inhale and exhale. Bringing attention deliberately to the process of breathing. The story goes about in the life of the Buddha, there was this person called Angulimala. He was a dacoit and he killed people for money. And the Buddha was crossing that forest, and he was, this person, the dacoit, came upon the Buddha and he tried to stop him. And, the Buddha engaged in very silent communion with this person. And then he wasn't perturbed or disturbed or afraid of this person. And then as the Buddha turned around to walk back, this person was running, trying to get him and to kill him. But, the Buddha did not possess anything. He didn't have anything, and there was no reason for this man to kill him. But he was so angry, and he was just trying to reach the Buddha, but he could not reach him because the Buddha was just walking gently, and he was not running or afraid of this person. And this person was surprised because Angulimala, he could not reach the Buddha, even though Buddha was not running. So what is it that stopped? What was different in this person? He wasn't running, he wasn't rushing, but he was just gently, calmly taking each step as he was walking. But this person who was enraged could not reach the Buddha. So there's, it's when the mind stops and when you're in your center, there you become centered in time. So right now, that's what we're trying to just to watch our mind to see where it is at right now. So the tongue in the roof of the mouth. And then just bring your attention completely to the hara. The hara is the center point of your body, with 3 fingers below the navel. And then deliberately inhale and exhale. And then notice that there is a pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. And there is a pause between the exhalation and the inhalation. So you want to completely bring your attention to the process of breathing. And then at this moment, as you're settling down, just notice if you have any pain or anything in the body that the body is trying to speak to you. If any part of your body is hurting, or you can feel any kind of stress in your mind. So just notice that. And don't try to not make it, to avoid it. We're just trying to notice what the body is speaking and what the mind is saying. So we're just sitting still and listening to the body, listening to the mind. So again, bring your attention to the breath. And then before you actually start meditating, um, just remember all the stewards of the land, the people that have gone before us, the people that are yet to come after us. So just holding a deep sense of gratitude and reverence to all the people in our lives who have made us who we are, our parents, grandparents, the people who live with us. Just extending a deep sense of gratitude to everybody, all beings in the universe and the people that we share this planet with. And then bring your attention back to your breath. Your breath is the only movement or action that's been with you since the time you were born. It's the only present moment that's been holding your hand all along this journey of life. So being grateful that to that very breath of life. And with a deep sense of gratitude, being compassionate to your own self, being compassionate to your mind, to your body, to this body that has been carrying you all these years. Holding a deep sense of compassion. Compassion begins with being compassionate to your own self first. This body, this mind that has carried you this far. So keep your gaze looking down and be aware of all the sense impressions that surround you. Keeping all the sense gates open. Tongue in the roof of the mouth. And just paying attention to your breathing process. Is it long? Is it short? Is it heavy? Just noticing it without any judgment, without any gaining idea. The process of inhalation and exhalation. As the breath enters your nostrils, notice the heat. Is it hot? Is it cold? And watch the breath as it fills your body. Letting go completely with every exhalation and receiving fresh energy from the universe as you inhale. If there's any resistance in the mind, notice that. Holding a deep sense of compassion towards your own self with every breath that fills in you. Exhaling all the spent energy, all the stress, the strain. With every exhalation, let it go. Just listen to the pulse of your own body. What is it saying to you? Listening to all the sounds in the room, outside the room, beyond the room. Keeping all your sense gates open. Your body, your mind is the biggest guide, the yardstick that can measure what you feel in the moment. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing your attention again and again back to your breath. Mind has a tendency to wander away. Bringing it back to the process of breathing, just paying attention to the breath. Being comfortable with silence. The natural state of the body is silence. So when you come out of meditation, you don't get up suddenly or abruptly. You come back to your body, open your eyes, place your palms on your thighs if you're sitting on the ground. If you're sitting on a chair too, you can place your palms on your thighs and rock your body left and right. And come forward, sideward, backward, to the side and forward again in a circular motion, rotating to the right and rotating to the left. Gently, slowly, calmly. And rubbing your shoulders with your fingers. That's the pressure point, and that's also the point where all the stress and the strain from sitting at the computer to all the tension that we hold in the body. So you can just tap yourself and rub your shoulders on both sides. That's the pressure point in the body. Rotate your shoulders, loosen the muscles there, and rotate in a circular motion, both sides and in the reverse direction as well. And it was just a kind of a test trial of a little window of meditation. So I would like to hear more from you and with an interaction and a sharing, so I know what you're thinking about. This is just a small taste of what we do here. We also do walking meditation, which is, it kind of helps the body, because when you're sitting completely for 30 minutes, your feet start to get cramps and your muscles are tightening. And then we get out of our seats and we do a 10-minute walking meditation, which is called Kinhin. So it basically is a continuation of the sitting meditation, but as we walk, feeling the earth under the feet and, gradually lifting and placing, paying attention, bringing awareness to each step. So that's what we do when we do walking meditation, and then we go back to sitting for another half an hour. So so it's called Zazen and Kinhin. Kinhin is walking meditation. Zazen is sitting meditation.
Gita, we're asking, you wanted to hear from people. Do you want them to put questions in the chat?
Yes, please. Yes. I would love to hear from people and what they have, the questions. And I'm happy to answer.
And the chat, you'll see at the bottom of your screen, there's a little, it says chat, and there's a little talk box. You bring that up and then you can type your question in, and I can pose those to Gita. If you have questions about posture, breathing, the mind, or Buddhism.
Any question? Life is the big event. Life is a great teacher.
Nothing yet. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. You can keep talking until we have some questions from.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I thought it would be good to have an interaction because then I know where people are at. But yeah, if we don't have questions, I can just go on. I don't know if you know the story of the Buddha. In fact, the tradition that we come from is one person who's answered something. So, you know, the tradition that of Soto Zen comes from Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is this teacher from India, from South India, who brought the teaching to China and then to Japan. So apparently, the story, as I heard in India, was that he was born as a very frail child. And in those days, children were, if a child is born very frail, then they take the child to be killed. And so this little child was being taken to be killed. And the commander in chief who was taking this child, he came upon this lady who elderly lady called Pragnatara. And then she said, give this child to me. I will take care of this child. And this child will beat you in a duel sometime. I'll make sure that this child grows strong in body and in mind. And when the child was 12 years old, he was, he would have fights. Fight meaning like they have these duels with the other young children of the same age. And he would always lose because he was physically weak. But somehow he was a very intelligent and sharp person. His mind was very strong. And Sangamitra was the daughter of this commander-in-chief who actually was taking this child when he was newborn, to be killed. So Sangamitra would, bring manuscripts from her father's library to Bodhidharma. And he taught himself martial art and the art of meditation and healing, Siddha, the ancient art of healing through herbs. Siddha is a technique how they find leaves and herbs through tasting, smelling, touching, and then using it. So he taught himself the power of the mind. The power of the mind could transcend the weakness of the body. So that's a small story that came to my mind.
So we have quite a few questions. Wonderful. So let's see there. How about start with, would you share a little more about the body's center point?
Sorry?
Would you share a little more about the body's center point?
Okay. Yeah. So do we have a name of this person or just?
We do, Cynthia, but we don't have names for everyone. So.
Okay. Yeah, Cynthia, thanks for your question. So, the body, when you stand straight, you have a center in the body because even when you're lifting heavy things, if you don't align your body, you would hurt yourself. So if you try to lift a bucket of water, and if you're not really aligned, then your nerves, you'll mess up your nerves might might stretch or pull in the wrong direction and you'll hurt yourself. So there's always a way to do these things, like Aikido and these kind of, particularly these different martial arts, they teach you the central point. So put your three fingers below your navel, and that would be the center point. It's called the hara. And so even when you're trying to lift something, you kind of keep your back straight, spine straight, and then just bend your knees down, keeping the spine straight, and then you lift whatever you're lifting. So it's always helpful to be centered in your body. And in meditation, that's kind of used as a central point, and then you use your breathing. Inhale, and exhale. It's kind of a circular movement, maintaining the center of the body, if that makes sense.
So we have a couple from Holly and who's just begun the journey of meditation, wondering how long it takes practicing meditation to be able to change your mind and the way you think, to unprogram your mind from anxiety and other negative thoughts.
Oh, thank you. So it's not about changing your mind, actually, because you cannot change your own genetic composition. We're born with a body and mind and a certain genetic code, like a composition, which is in the mind, and it's and that's what allows us to experience the world with this body, with this mind, and with that particular genetic composition, which is different for each person. So we see the world as we are. So, that's what projects the world. So if we are 10 people sitting in the same room, we're experiencing the world in 10 different ways. So it's not really possible to change the mind or change the way that you're thinking. But the idea in meditation is to just stop and slow down and just watch what's happening. What is happening in the body? What is happening in the mind? Just noticing it and acknowledging it. So the change that you're talking about begins from there, by just noticing and acknowledging it. And then the fine tuning happens. It's just like fine tuning a guitar, or like fine tuning any string instrument. If it's too tight, it breaks, and if it's too loose, it doesn't really get the music there. So how can you fine tune your own body, your own mind, with your own given genetic composition? So it's like harmonizing your own body, your own mind, and the way that you relate with that body mind complex to the world around you.
And her follow-up question is, how much practice a day is recommended?
How much practice?
How long meditation each day is recommended? Maybe as a starting.
You can start with sitting in the morning and in the evening before you go to bed, like maybe half an hour. Or you can start with 15 minutes and then you can extend. But the idea is to carry that sense of meditation from the cushion to your throughout the day, in what you're doing. So if you're just completely centered in what you're doing each moment, without being lost in the past or the future, when you're lost in the past, you're bringing in depression. When you're engaged in planning the future, then you're more getting into anxiety. So between depression and anxiety, there is this middle point where you're trying to be completely and wholeheartedly yourself. So if you're able to be wholeheartedly there for the moment that you're to what you're doing, if you're able to respond completely, then you're not really lost in the past or the future. So just being there, and carrying this sense of meditation that you did, like for 15 minutes or half an hour, carrying the same process of watching the breath throughout the day in all that you do, extending it, and then also going back to bed. Thank God for sleep. Sleep is the biggest meditation, every day we fall asleep and then we're meditating. We're just not aware of this body. We don't exist. We don't, not even thinking of our name. This person, this name, this identity, everything is paused for a moment while we sleep. So, so just bringing that meditation throughout the day.
Speaking of sleep, a question that one attendee has is this person struggles with sleep issues, as do
Uh-huh.
many of us, and was wondering if this meditation can help, and if so, when would be the best time to practice?
Could you say that again? I mean, my volume was not really.
Oh, I'm sorry. It might be so what is this person struggles with sleep issues.
1 second, Indra, my computer. Okay.
Okay, so this person struggles with sleep issues and wondering if this meditation can help. And if so, when would be the best time to practice?
Thank you. Yeah, I think, this sometimes sleep issues can be because we're tired. And sleep is a big thing because, I mean, that is the time, it's only when we sleep that the body does its process of detoxing. The body and all the organs, there's a biological clock. There is a functioning time during the daytime for each organ. There is a separate specific time, and there's also a detoxing time. And so only when you're sleeping that the body does its detoxing process. And so, like if you're experiencing sleeplessness, so there's also something that's in excess, like you're overworking yourself, or you're not, you need to take care of that as well. And that will be clear to you as you start meditating. It's good to have a daily meditation process, practice. So if you can sit in the morning and sit in the evening at least twice a day, or if you can connect with any person who can guide you through meditation, that will be great. And then of course also there's the body that has been taking a lot, like you need to slow down. And then there are different remedies, like sometimes, like Ayurveda recommends taking hot milk of any kind before you go to bed, with a little turmeric and a little honey. uh, take that before you go to bed. And then also take a hot shower before you go to bed, because when you take a shower, it kind of it surprises the body. The whole body is kind of reactivating itself. So you take a hot shower, drink a hot cup of milk with turmeric and honey. It doesn't have to be dairy milk, it can be any milk. And then also, if you're able to calm your mind by meditation, so there's also something for the body and for the mind. So you have to work on both the body and the mind, and then that might be helpful.
That was the last question. I don't know if you wanted to do another very quick meditation before the end.
Uh-huh. How much time do we have, Indra?
We have 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. So I mean, I just want to hear if people were able to do the meditation, or I mean, just to get some kind of feedback, so I can also, because I cannot see anybody. So if I can see people, I know by seeing their face. So I'm just wondering if people are receiving what I'm giving, if there is any giving and taking happening, because I can only see myself right now.
The only thing we got is one person wanted one more meditation, please. And
Okay.
yes, the meditation, one person, Bij and Ankur, say, yes, the meditation was very good for me. It's been a long time since I sat in silence.
Yes.
So,
Thank you, Ankur and Bij and Ankur, right?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that feedback. When you give a feedback, I can respond, because otherwise it's just like one person, one hand clapping. So yeah, most of us actually uh, are uncomfortable with silence. Like if we are three people sitting together and if we're just sitting silently, it's like something is not okay. We start feeling uncomfortable with silence. So it just goes to say that the body has its own intelligence. The body is intelligence through and through and through. The body knows how to be born. The body knows how to die. The body knows how to give birth. So the body intelligence knows everything. So, and then of course we add a lot of things into our minds and body over time. And then we are so busy we get caught up in the world. And then when we try to meditate, we're kind of going back to that primal original state of silence, which is the nature of the body and the mind. So yes, thank you for saying that you are experiencing silence after a long time.
This Lorraine asks, I felt your guiding words were very helpful. Please provide a second short session now with your guiding words. And then Bij and Ankur say, we'd love another session. Silence was a big part of growing up, and my parents and grandparents would sit in silence with us, but it's not something we do with each other and with our child. So we've got 2 calls for another short session.
Okay.
And with some guiding words, if you like.
Okay. Thanks, Lorraine. I appreciate that. And we shall do another short session. And if you like to continue, you're welcome to join us at Green Gulch Farm at San Francisco Zen Center. The city center and Green Gulch Farm offer a lot of meditation programs online. And you're welcome to connect with us and continue on if you like. So, okay, let's just do another. Am I allowed to ring a bell?
Yes, the only thing to be aware of is the computer sound doesn't, the meditation bell sounds a little off and you don't hear the full length of the sound. So I just wanted you to know the sound isn't very good on Zoom.
Okay. Okay, so once again, let's now this time we're a little more comfortable with silence, I assume. So keep your body, just be aware of this body, this mind, which is you actually. You are this body and you are this mind. So just bring your attention completely to this person that's you. And sit on your sit bones, keeping the spine straight. You might need a little to tweak your body a little to get that straight alignment of the body. And then just watch the alignment. Your ears, when your ears are in level with the shoulder, your neck bones are straight. And then you want to hold this posture at least for 15 minutes. And then you can even stretch your hands and bring it back just so that you're kind of opening out your chest. And then you hold yourself at the back, stretch, open your chest again. And then align your body again, just rocking your body left and right. So as you rock your body, you find that posture. And then move forward and backward just to get that alignment. And if you're sitting on the floor, to keep yourself slightly raised with a cushion, sitting on a cushion at the edge of the cushion will help keep the spine straight. And then roll your tongue in the roof of the mouth. So when you roll your tongue at the roof of the mouth, you're kind of turning inward. Your attention is turning inward. And then keeping all the sense gates open, the sense of smell, touch, taste, the wind, the wind that's touching your skin, the light and the shadow, the light and the shade in the room, being aware of all that. And then just inhale and exhale intentionally at your own pace. Each person has a pace of their own. So don't follow anybody, just follow your own self. Inhale and exhale. And as you do that, also notice that there is a pause between the inhalation and exhalation. And there is a pause between exhalation and inhalation. So when you're completely watching your breath, you're actually, stopping the process of thought, because thought, thinking, and paying attention to the breath don't work together. You can either watch the breath or be caught up in thought, one of the two. It is an either or situation when you're watching your breath. It's either this or that. So completely watch your breath. And just sit silently for maybe 5 minutes. Is that right, Indra?
Yes, that's
Okay.
good.
Okay, so I'll just ring the bell 3 times. So just listen to the sound of the bell completely with your whole body. You're not listening with your ears, you're listening with the whole body. That's a different experience. Try that this time. And I'll ring 1 bell to end the meditation. So again, tongue in the roof of the mouth. Just be comfortable with just being with the breath, being with yourself. Watching your breath as you inhale. Watching your breath as you exhale. Holding deep compassion for your own self completely. With this deep sense of gratitude for your own self, for the stewards of this land, the people in your lives, just holding a sense of gratitude for this very life. Listen to the sounds of silence. All the sounds around you. And notice that your listening is happening with the whole body. Your whole body is listening. Your body is intelligence. Every cell in your body is listening. So again, when you come out of meditation, Don't come out suddenly and abruptly. So place your palms facing down on your thighs and then rock your body left and right. And then come forward, lean forward to the side and at the back and to the other side. In a circular motion, come forward again, stretch forward, and then reverse direction, just rotating your body, letting your body know that you're coming out of meditation. Lean forward and then come up to sitting position. And this is something that you can share with your whole family, with your, like somebody mentioned about their children and grandchildren. Yeah, children are naturally silent and they have a sense of balance. So as adults and parents, I think we should make sure that we don't disturb that with our ideas and imposing it on our children. Thank you so much. Appreciate your questions and I appreciate this time. But I really feel sad that I cannot see you all. I would love to have seen your faces, and it's different when there is a face-to-face interaction. Thank you so much.